Hey gang, it's JC, and this is your Daily Dose for Tuesday, May 11th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. You can check our archives anytime. Hit the menu bar at the top of the page. We're going to be overhauling this website here in the next day or two, and it's going to look really cool starting in a couple of days. So come on back and take a peek. We hope you join us every day, Monday through Friday. We update it for you here at jc'sdailydose.com. Big news, Lady Gaga is coming to St. Louis. Now, before you go down to the Scott Trade Center and trying to get in line, the tickets aren't even available yet. They haven't even formally announced the show, but Lady Gaga will play the Scott Trade Center on July 17th. If you're a Gaga-er, mark it on your calendar. All right, Chelsea Handler. Maybe you're familiar with her show on E! She had a little sex tape scandal about 10 days ago, even though she says it's not really a scandal. I'm not going to get into that now, but she has this talk show on E! And I guess it's pretty popular, but popular enough to fill the Scott Trade Center? They just announced a day or two ago that Chelsea Handler is going to play the Scott Trade Center on November 6th. Tickets go on sale Friday. There is something about this chick that I apparently don't get. All right, first it was Kate Hudson. Now it is Jamie Presley with the boob job. Congratulations, girls. And when I say girls, you know what I mean, I think. Maxim magazine has released its Hot 100 list. Now, last year, for example, number one on the list was this chick, Olivia Wilde. She has dropped to number 20 this year. Do you believe that Jennifer Aniston didn't even make the top 100? Now, how is that possible? By the way, this year's number one, Katy Perry, the I Kissed a Girl chick. She's married to Russell Brand, that guy from All right, CareerBuilder.com has released its 25 best paying jobs for women list. 25 best paying jobs for women. Oddly, 24 of them involve boinking Tiger Woods. Dave & Buster's has been sold for $570 million, and that works out to about $1 for every trace of E. coli they find on the handle of the skee ball games. All right, I want to tell you about this guy by the name of Kenny Strassner. I should have actually held on to this information for a couple of more weeks, and I'll explain why in a minute here. Kenny Strassner is a yo-yo champion. You've seen these guys on television before, and what this guy does is he does the yo-yo thing, and then he goes into schools and stuff like that and approaches little kids and teaches them about saving the earth. So he sort of snags them with the yo-yo tricks and then gives them little speeches about recycling and stuff like that. And he's been doing this. Kenny Strassner is his name. And he writes to local TV stations and says, you should have me on. And sure enough, the local TV stations put him on, and he does his thing. There's only one problem with Kenny Strassner. He's a complete fraud. The guy's a total phony. Matter of fact, he goes on the TV stations and he just sort of babbles about his personal problems. And then he gets his yo-yos all tangled up and even answers his cell phone in the middle of the demonstration. So far, he has scammed 5 TV stations. This is what happens when you got way too much free time and you got sort of a twisted sense of humor. But this guy's a complete fraud. Somehow still more legitimate, though, than Julian Grace. All right, let's talk a little bit about Saturday Night Live. And, of course, there was the big buzz about Betty White over the weekend. The season finale with Alec Baldwin is coming up this weekend. And something you may not know is that although the show obviously airs live from 30 Rock at 11:30 New York time, 10:30 Central time, at 8 o'clock, they do a full dress rehearsal with a live audience, and they also videotape that. So that if there's a glitch in the actual live performance, and there have been historic cases that I'll share with you sometime when we have more time. There was one with John Goodman, there was one with Peter Skarsgård a couple of years ago. But they videotape the dress rehearsal, but they also run over by about a half an hour, 45 minutes. They do lots of extra routines. And then after, 2.5 hours of this, they run back into Lorne Michaels' office, and in between the time that the dress rehearsal ends and the time that the live show is to go on the air, they whittle the show down. They decide which sketches worked and which ones didn't, and they try to decide how it fits into the 90 minutes and all that. And they maybe sometimes they juxtapose the sketches. Something that was near the end gets a bigger laugh than they thought, so they move it up towards the beginning of the show. Anyhow, as they said, they videotape that stuff. Well, if you go to hulu.com, you're going to see 3 sketches with Betty White that did not make the show, including one where she plays Debbie Downer's mother opposite Rachel Dratch. Again, that's at hulu.com. All right, people who watch Saturday Night Live, and you saw over the weekend they did a bunch of MacGruber's. And Carl and I used to have this argument all the time because I think the thing's funny. Carl's like, it's the same band over and over again. I'm like, yeah, Carl, I know, but it's still funny somehow. So a lot of people who have seen these things, they're in 20, 30 seconds. Are like, well, how could they make a full-length motion picture out of these short little sketches that they do on Saturday Night Live with Will Forte? And he's going to be on Letterman, by the way, talking about this because the movie comes out on the 21st. I've not seen it, but the inside scoop on the MacGruber movie is that it is funnier than shit, and that people come out of the theater just like drenched in sweat from not only laughing, but also it apparently is so bizarre, over the top funny, that people can't believe what they've actually seen. Now, that could be pre-release hype, I don't know. I'm going to see the movie, I think it's next week, opens on the 21st, we will let you know. All right, we told you yesterday we're going to tell you why restaurants always seem to be so loud. And somebody did some research on this thing, and they found out that, for example, there's 3 reasons. Number 1, tablecloths, carpets, and soft ceilings absorb sound, but all of those things are out of style in restaurants right now. Now all the trendy new restaurants are, unfinished dining rooms and hardwood floors and stuff like that, so it's more loud in there. In addition to that, loud restaurants draw people in. Think about it. If you're in an unfamiliar city, or even if you're just walking through, downtown somewhere, Central West End, you hear a lot of noise coming out of a restaurant. Well, people are drawn to that, so apparently that works. And number 3, it has been proven that loud music makes us eat and drink more. So, in other words, a noisy restaurant is apparently good for business. Sex-related injuries. It turns out that 1 in 3 of us has had one. 5% of people say they were injured so severely having sex that they actually had to take time off of work. See, now if I'm a guy and I have disabled a young woman to the point where she can't go to work, that might be the greatest badge of honor that you can have as a young man. The 3 most common sex-related injuries. Number 3, carpet burns. Number 2, injured backs. And number 1, pulled muscles. Turns out that 2% of us admit that we have broken a bone, not that one, while having sex. 1 in 10 people say they've fallen off the bed while having sex. 1 in 50 admit they've fallen off the washing machine while doing the nasty. Overall, the most dangerous place to have sex is on the sofa, followed by the stairs, the car, in the shower, and in the bedroom. What happened to the good old days when you would go into your office after hours and do it on the boss's desk? Sorry, John, sometimes the truth hurts. All right, happy birthday today to Peter North. If you are familiar with porn, you know that he is the star of Pocahontas, The Best Rears of Our Lives, On Golden Blonde. Peter North, 53 years old today and still pumping, if you know what I mean. JC's Video Village. This is going to be moving. Right now it's up on the tab at the top of the page under Eye Candy. That's going to be moving here when we revamp the website in a couple of days. Also, Video Village Wayback Machine. Today's Eye Candy. Somebody, again, with way too much free time and who was pretty good on Photoshop, decided what some of today's biggest stars might look like if they were really fat. You can see that on JC's Eye Candy today, right below what you're looking at right now. Tomorrow, problems with the United States Census, dangerous problems. How long you'd have to work to make what Matt Holliday makes in a single year. And I never really thought that anybody could say or do anything that would make me be pissed off and dislike Van Morrison, but it may have happened. In the meantime, that's JC's Daily Dose for Tuesday, May 11th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.